So a common question that I get is, where do we start in our job searches? And the first question I always ask people are, what are your values? So there's a really simple tool that I use to get to the bottom of what people's core values are. It's actually very simple. You're just going to set an egg timer or microwave or your cell phone, and for 15 minutes. And you're just going to think about what are the things that you value most in life. So these are going to be qualities like, I value being able to achieve things. I value time with my family. I value time with my friends. I value having financial security, right? So it may come in categories, but they're sort of generic kind of terms. But it might be that I value friendship, right? And you can think of this specifically in terms of your job if you like, or if it's too broad, then, or if that's too narrow, you can broaden it out. So the first is going to be to make a list of what you value most. Okay, so take those 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you think you need a little more time, and you can pause this video, and when you're done, come back and we'll start the next section. Okay, hopefully that went well for you. If you got stuck, don't worry about it. Whatever came to you is enough for now. So take a look at those values that you've got written down. Hopefully you've got at least 5 to 10. If you've got more than that, that's fine. What we're going to do now is we're going to rank these values in level of importance. So the top value, the thing that you're going to put number 1 next to, it's going to be the thing that's really the number 1 thing. I can tell you for me, really my number 1 value is freedom and having control over my choices. It's the biggest one for me, over financial security, over work-life balance. That's really the biggest thing for me. And for other people, it's completely the opposite, that financial security is their number 1. That's really, the number 1 value that they need when looking for a job, and that's fine too. So take a couple of minutes. If you don't have 10 yet, use the rest of this time to come up with at least 10. If you've got more than 10, you might just rank your top 10. Not going to necessarily, if you came up with 50, we don't necessarily need you to go through and rank all of them. But go ahead and rank 1 through 10, and if you need to, you can pause this video and come back once you've done that. Great. So this is a very simple tool, like I said in the beginning. This is really just getting the idea of your core values. But now, as you start looking at, whether it's that you're in between industries, you're not sure which industry you want to work with anymore, or if it's just a decision between jobs, or between which jobs to apply for or which jobs to take once you've gotten several offers, come back to your core values. Because if time freedom, being able to set your own schedule, is your number 1 value, but you get an offer that's got a lot of money but no time freedom, you're likely not going to be very happy at that job. Does that mean you shouldn't take it? I don't know. The ultimate decision is up to you. But what I do know is that you're likely to be the happiest. You're likely to have the most power, like the most personal feelings of success, wealth, abundance, if the job or the field that you go into matches your values. The same thing goes for if you're going to start a business. If your number 1 thing is financial security and you're going to try and bootstrap a business, that's going to be pretty tough, right? You may actually feel disempowered. It may not feel very secure. So you may not have a great experience of starting up a business like that. It may make more sense to you to have a job for a little while, save up some money, and then start a business once you actually have something to invest in it. Again, there's no right or wrong here, but the idea is that your values help influence and determine your actions. So now that you know what they are, rather than them being sort of hidden, you can make better decisions. Once you've ranked those, there's another little game that you can play. It's a totally bonus game. It is the values job game. very simply named as well. The idea is to write down the names of 5 people that you could get on the phone right now. They don't have to be your best friends, but 5 people that if you called them, they like you enough that they'd answer your phone call. And they don't have to be professional. It could be your mom, could be your aunt, could be your best friend from high school, whatever. So see if you can think of 5 people if you want to play this game that you could call right now. And here's what you're going to do. When you call them, you're going to ask them if they would be willing to help you with the little exercise that you're doing. You're going to list for them the top 10 values. You don't have to tell them what it is. You don't have to say, these are my values. But you're going to say something like this. I'm trying to think of job ideas or business ideas for someone who has the following values in the following order. And then you list them. 1, time freedom. 2, financial security. 3, achievement. 4, success. 5, whatever it is, keep going down. And then say, can you think of 3 or 4 jobs, 3 or 4 callings, 3 or 4 industries that could potentially satisfy those values? You'd be surprised what your friends and family could come up with. And it doesn't necessarily have to be stuff that you would even consider, right? I did this one time and someone told me, oh, you'd be a great game show host. It's like, totally, I'd be a great game show host, right? And since then, I've done things like host trivia nights at local pubs, and I do more things out in the public eye. I didn't necessarily go out and become a game show host, but it was really great because it's a calling or a job that I'd never thought about doing, and I actually think that knowing that kind of helps me bring some elements of that job into what I do for a living now. So that's it. Those are what are your core values. That's the first tool. If you're interested in seeing more, there will be some other videos released in this series. And this whole conversation is inside of a much bigger series called Your Dream Job. Your Dream Job is on Wednesdays at noon. You can either watch it live or watch it in recordings like you're doing right now. Anytime if you have any questions or want to know more about a tool or something else, just tweet me at LaceyHopkins.com, at LaceyHopkins. Or you can visit my website, www.laceyhopkins.com. It is a pay what you can series. So if you go to laceyhopkins.com, you actually can see under the top category of more, Your Dream Job, there's an Eventbrite link. It's access to it. You can pay what you think it's worth. Suggested for the 5 weeks is $100, and but if you can only afford $5, then you still can get access. So go on there. Take advantage of the pay category and come join us starting next week. Next week on October 8th, what we're going to be talking about is goals. So when you sign up, you'll get the video from last week, so you can go ahead and watch it and catch up. You'll see a little bit of this tool that you just saw now, and also then have access to the live videos for October 8th and the other Wednesdays in October. Again, any questions, tweet me at Lacey Hopkins or feel free to contact me through LaceyHopkins.com. Thanks for joining.